Esta es una historia de canibalismo. Is it carne or is it carnage? This is the story about a friend from the bar. And every Sunday morning she would light up the fire. She'd gather all of us around to sample her meat. La barbacoa de las Barbies was a cannibal treat.
But this is like an Argo.
It is an Argo.
Oh, it is an Argo.
It's a Ray-Ban from the Argo family.
Okay.
The Ray-Ban was designed after the Argo to heat your house whilst you're cooking and burning your wood. It would heat the water, that would heat your radiators, you cook on top of it, dry your clothes, sit on top of it.
A sustainable oven.
It's amazing. It's like the heart of all country houses.
It's a gorgeous.
Everything.
How old is it?
I think this was in the 50s, this one.
50s.
And
Okay.
it's been given a paint job and fixed up a bit since then, but it's, you know, it's old.
Did you find it here? Or?
No, found it in like Northern Ireland.
Amazing.
Like half a ton shipped it over. You know, this
Oh,
was
wow.
our original setup.
Yeah.
We were just a wood burning stove, tube, wine barrel. Pretty crude, it worked really well.
Yeah.
So we wanted to keep the same technique. What most people do when they smoke food is buy a very fancy, you know, electric, and then you come back 10 days, 10 hours later and it's all. I mean, first wood doesn't never taste as good because you burn wood sawdust and you smolder it. When you burn wood at around 400 degrees, you extract all the good flavors from wood. You burn all the good gases. If you do it too soft, you don't extract the best ones. If you burn it too high, it burn it away. So with this, we can control really the best, extract the best flavors of the wood.
What type of wood are you using? Are you using oak mostly, or do you use alder? Or
We use all kinds of wood, and I'm not going to pretend and say like, oh, hickory and all the, you know what people say. Guy, you know, this is the best for this.
peat moss and
To be honest, it's a bit bullshit, really. Like,
Yeah.
can I swear?
You just did.
Oh, okay.
Dan is here, so don't worry about it. It'll get dirtier later on.
So here it's actually barbecue. And it's been dried for about 2 years. With this, we direct the smoke into the barrel, into the chamber, or out through the chimney.
So
No, I
you use
did
the
forget
chimney
that.
outside?
Yeah, it's smoked.
The
You see
old
it smoking?
industrial, like 100-year-old?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So we get it going. This way we can really extract the best flavour from the wood by burning it in whole logs.
You went to Hoffman, right? Yeah.
Which is an amazing school, and I learned a lot. And then after learning the classic ways of cooking, and it's a great way, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to learn about beer making, fermenting, pickling, smoking.
Home style.
And got into it, and we just, couldn't find anywhere to learn, so we just did it ourselves.
And that was with your business partner as well as your wife, the Austrian guy.
Tyrolian guy, yeah. He's now up in Pfalzerken, like the best restaurant in, for me, the world, like amazing. And he's like smashing out there, which is great.
And before we forget, you have another new project that started last week, no? You're a new father.
Which one?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He travels down through those tubes into the smoker, and because we started smoking on our terrace, we used the direction of the wind to control the airflow, which is not perfect. To create the same system that we did on the terrace, on the original rooftop, is the same thing. We have a place where we burn the wood and a smoke chamber, but instead the tube doesn't go directly below it, it travels around it, and we don't have wind from the outside to work with. So we have this fan that draws air around the circuit. So with this, we control the velocity of the fan. We control the temperature of the smoke, the density of the smoke, which is really important, and the humidity. With those three things, you can be very precise with how we smoke our food, cold smoke or hot smoke or whatever we want to do.
Yeah, do you do anything to prepare the bacon before?
Yeah, it's in
the brine,
It's in a rub, like a really nice rub.
So what have you added here?
This is salt, sugar, black pepper, a bit of fennel, a bit of juniper, a bit of bay leaf. It's drawn moisture out of the meat. This is the meat. So we apply a dry cure, and then we throw that away. We tip it out, and then we apply the cure again to a bit of dry cure. So we do that every 5 days. And the ultimate goal is to lose about 25% of its original weight,
Wow.
and then you have a cured
Okay.
product that has a longer shelf
Right.
life.
And your wife Carla is from here.
Yeah.
She's from
She's from Lleida.
Lleida, and she's now into it just as much as you, no? Or?
Yeah, she's, without her there would be no rooftop.
Nice.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is pancetta, what people consider bacon here. This is English bacon. It's the ribs and the lomo. Discontinued, it would reach the ribs and the lomo. That's the difference between English bacon and you know, pancetta.
Okay.
We like to sell to people who really take care of the stuff. So this bacon's actually for churros. They make a really great hamburger, and then they use our smoked bacon in their hamburger.
They use picanha in their hamburger. That's the key. It's a Brazilian cut of meat. It's like the rump cap, if you will, of the cow. So they grind that up. This is the most ancient way of preparing conserving food.
Because it would be where they'd have a fire, they'd hang their meat up at the top to preserve it for longer. So you do your hunt, but you can't eat all that meat in one go. So it would be a way of preserving. Okay, I'm gonna open to get it. So now you see the...
Wow, smell that.
So we're gonna cold smoke this bacon.
Amazing.
And we're gonna do it for about 10 days. So it's gonna go in and out of the smoker. And at the same time it's losing moisture every day.
Why do you have to take it out?
One is that we smoke around 25 degrees, the bacon, which is a cold smoke, and then you can't leave meat too long at that temperature. So we put it then back in the fridge, and in the fridge it's a dry environment for it, so it loses moisture, and then it becomes cured and more bacony like. That's just bacon, but there's a million ways of doing this. You know, in America, barbecue is considered smoking, and here we consider barbecue just cooking directly on coals. Everyone has their own ways of doing things.
Okay.
We're going to try a few of these things and let's talk a little bit more now.
Okay.
Problem, it must be said, around the barbecue sometimes she lose her head. She disappeared for hours, come back stained red, but Bobby's barbecue.
We're trying smoked duck,
Okay.
which has been like acorn-fed, ridiculously nice duck. This is some beetroot chutney, but it's nice for the duck. We make our own beer mustard, which is this.
Okay.
And that goes nice with pastrami.
Okay.
And then we have some really good cheddar cheese. You get cheddar cheese and then you mix it with Guinness, melt it with Guinness and butter, and then it turns into a roux.
Wow.
And then you put it on toast and you burn it, and it's just delicious. The important thing is really good cheddar, which we import from Neil's Yard in London. Right, we bring it over. The meat, this is Badega. This too is in a really good area where they eat really well. I always visit the farms before I buy the meat. It's not so important to me the organic stamp, because actually a lot of organic stuff is business run stuff, and it's not actually means it's good quality or ethical. So we try to work with more of a slow food philosophy and take care of local ethical produce. And then we grab some horseradish for the mackerel.
Oh, I'm going right there.
Wow.
The future of smoking?
So I've brought out my homemade, let's say home-aged cachaças.
Okay.
See that color?
Gather all of us around a sample of meat. La barbacoa de las Barbies was a cannibal tree.
I'd just like to say that Buster is digging into his own food, which is a clear evidence that it's good.
Yeah.
He has eaten his own food, yes.
Slinking around the bars and just a giggling all the time. Little dolls of fantasy, just so submissive and fine. But our friend, she had a plan for them and all of their kind.